AQ's Blog and Grill.
Hi, and welcome to AQ's Blog and Grill. We're really happy today to have our guest, Ginny Dybenko.
Hi.
Welcome. What is this new faculty campus thing you've got going on?
What we're doing in Stratford is taking a very different, very unique approach to the whole world of digital media. And we're doing that through, drum roll, arts and humanities.
Arts and humanity? No, see, I don't understand that at all.
What we've evidenced is technology, if you like, has overtaken the whole digital media space, and not particularly in a good way.
Right.
So what we're looking to do is trying to humanize the technology experience, or even better said, bring the human back into the customer experience.
This is a fabulous program that must be offered at almost every university in North America.
You'd think, wouldn't you? We are the only ones. We start with individuals that are absolutely passionate about the arts, and then we give them enough technology to make them a little dangerous, which in the social media world isn't hard.
Exactly.
And then we provide them some business skills to really try to put all of that to some good use as they enter into the workforce.
Sure.
If you want to end up with a human-centered focus, you've got to start with the human. You've got to be preoccupied. You've got to be passionate. You've got to be crazy about the human.
Right.
Because technology and numbers and business are really strong magnets, and they can pull you off course in very logical ways.
Right.
But what you end up with then is what we have now, which is a customer experience that does not reflect the needs, if you like, of the human. We are also cognizant of the fact that culture plays a huge role in the human, go figure, and it's not enough to just be designing that human around what we know in our culture. We have to have an awareness about other cultures. We have a master's program that runs for one full calendar year. So September, we actually get the students in a couple of weeks ahead of time for a boot camp.
Okay.
The summer is a project that they do, an internship, if you like, with a company.
So then am I to understand there's going to be an undergrad component?
We actually started that in last September. For the coming September, we had over almost 600 applicants for the program, and we ended up bringing in 150. Not only was this the largest program that the University of Waterloo ever began, and that's across all engineering, math, all STEM, but it's now, I think, the fastest growing. Almost every company that's interested in attracting and retaining a customer is interested in the graduates from our program.
Wow.
So it's banks. You know, the internet has made denial a very easy thing. So a bank is only as good as its customer experience. And the more that gets deployed over the web, the poorer it has become. And so we've got them lined up at our door.
So are you finding that your students, your graduates, are being attracted to the corporate world, or are they thinking at the same, well, maybe I could do that, but I want to do something on my own?
I would say it's about 50% feel naturally inclined to start their own business. My suspicion is that that'll shift a little bit. Some that really thought they wanted to do that will, through some experience, so we'll put them in a work term in an entrepreneurial company. It might not be for everyone. You definitely have to have an explorer gene in you to be successful, I think, as an entrepreneur. With very few exceptions, I really try to encourage them to, while they're young, to try starting their own business if they're that way inclined.
What's the worst that can happen?
Whereas a little later on, you could have, you will have other kinds of obligations and kids perhaps and other sorts of things happen in your life that makes it much riskier.
Sure.
We did start an accelerator center. We got the Accelerator Centre in Waterloo to come in and set that up for us.
Great.
And we actually have 9 clients in the Accelerator Centre already. We only
Wow.
opened it May 1st, and 3 of those are our students.
Isn't that amazing?
Remarkable businesses. One of the students is actually earning almost $500,000 revenue already.
Yes.
Canada is in good hands. Now we have to make sure that we as a region can capture their hearts as well, so
Right.
that to encourage them to stay local,
Right.
and develop their businesses here.
Yeah. How are these young people going to change those corporate structures and corporate organizations?
They're going to demand a lot of change. So that's not going to be a problem. The problem is going to be encountered on the corporate side, whether they'll have listening. And so the reason that I tell corporations that they absolutely have to have listening is not only because these individuals will be their customers, and the more they can find out about what their customers are expecting from them, the better. But in addition to that, they're going to be their employees. And I mean, you hear it everywhere. It's all about the attraction and retention. And that's really the critical thing.
So, what are we going to do, Ginny, about getting a stronger urge among women, females?
I was so hoping you were going to ask me that question.
How are we going to get that going?
I think what I am noticing, and this has just been since I've come out to Stratford, is a huge number of women that have expressed an interest. So what I suggest immediately is that they look to getting involved in project work of an entrepreneurial company.
Right.
And so they can live it firsthand, and when they see what it's like and they've lived in it, primarily in a support role, obviously, then, eventually the ones that would come through say, I could do that.
Right.
So the other thing is obviously role modeling.
Role models, yes.
And so we have a number of young women that are in first year particularly, that are really interested and have already set up companies.
Good.
And I try to put a spotlight on them as much as I possibly can, because if a woman's out there, a young woman watching this, I want them to be able to say, I could do that.
Yeah.
She did it. Why
Yeah.
can't I? There is something that happens when you interface with a young person who is sitting there, I won't even say willing to learn, but eager to learn.
Yep.
And your ability to be able to impart even the smallest piece of encouragement or advice or direction
Right.
for that individual, and they'll come back years later and say, you didn't even know what you were saying when you said, but it made such a huge difference for me.
Yep.
So I just find that just like a shot of adrenaline. And so that's what keeps me in the thing. These are going to be remarkable, I think, remarkable contributors to Canada's economy. Yeah. We've been talking about knowledge workers for a long time. I think we're actually starting now to produce an individual that can dream about the potential of technology,
Yep.
but then can equally write, that can put context, video and audio context around
Right.
that idea
Yep.
to really sell it and drive it home and move. I keep thinking of just industry, but of course it isn't. Our students are often drawn to not-for-profits. We have projects with Big Brothers, and
Yep.
in addition to CIBC and all the
Fabulous.
rest. It's a lot of fun.
Ginny, what's the name of the program?
It is the Global Business Digital Arts Program, GBDA. That's our undergraduate program. And our graduate program is MDEI. And it's available on part-time and on as a full-time program.
Really?
In the old days, a student that was passionate about the arts would be told to
Go get another degree.
become an accountant and
Yeah.
play with that other stuff in
Yeah.
the nights and the weekends.
Right.
And no longer is that required. Now they get to follow their passion and get a job. CBC hired them, Samsung hired them.
Quarry hired them.
Quarry hired them. Thank you so very much. OpenText, Google. So these students, these products of our program have turned out to be quite hot commodities in the market.
Perfect.
AQ's Blog and Grill.